we have some breaking inputs coming in. In fact, Sajjan Kumar has got a life sentence. This is what we are learning so far, that he's been sentenced to life imprisonment. This is with regards to the 1984 Anti-Sikh Riots. In fact, the ex-Congress MP has been awarded a life term over death. Remember, this is with regards to the riots of 1984, where Sajjan Kumar had been convicted for instigating a mob and leading to the death, a brutal murder of a father-son duo. And what we are right now learning is that Sajjan Kumar has been awarded life imprisonment over a death penalty. Let's quickly go across to Ananya Bhattagar, who's bringing us those breaking inputs. Ananya, give us the reasoning behind this life imprisonment term for Sajjan Kumar over death penalty.
Well, definitely, it's a big judgment coming in from, in fact, the Delhi's Rajahmundry court. He has been given life imprisonment in this particular case. Very categorically, the court has now granted life imprisonment. The prosecution had sought a death penalty into this particular case. However, the court felt that, this is a case that only amounts to life imprisonment because the rarest of the rare, category is not met as of now, though the detailed reasoning of the court would come out in the judgment that would follow in a while. Some fine has also been imposed, which the court said in its oral pronouncement. However, when the whole judgment, the detailed judgment copy is out, we'll get to know as to what is, in fact, the court's view as far as why this case is not a rarest of the rare.
That's why I want to ask you, take us through the arguments, in fact, provided by the prosecution so far. They said that this is a genocide of an entire mass community, which is why Sajjan Kumar should be given a death penalty. Take us through all those very crucial arguments that were being presented by the prosecution in this entire Saraswati Vihar case.
Well, definitely, the prosecution had stated very categorically before the court of law that, this is a case which amounts to, in fact, a death penalty because it's the rarest of the rare case. It's a case which relates to the genocide, in fact, a mass genocide of a particular community, and that qualifies this case as a rarest of. However, why the court has not felt that this is not a rarest of the rare case and no death penalty can be granted in this particular case, something that we'll get to know from the detailed order copy that would come out in a while. But at this point of time, the big judgment of the court is that Sajjan Kumar would remain in jail for the rest of his life, is the verdict of the Rouse Avenue Court, Special CBI Judge Kaveri Baveja, clearly pronouncing that verdict. Remember that the cases were reopened in 2015 after a SIT was set up by the Modi government, and later, this verdict has come in from the Rouse Avenue Court in the national capital.
Right.
So, how would things go up? Whether the victims of the 1984 Sikh riots and the prosecution would be challenging this verdict before, in fact, the Delhi High Court seeking a death penalty into this particular case is something that we'll get to know.
That's only exactly what I wanted to ask you, Ananya, because remember, the Sikh community is going to be extremely dejected and crestfallen, given that they felt very deeply about this case. They said that there will only be closure and justice given to the community once Sajjan Kumar is in fact awarded a death penalty. What are the chances that all those who've been fighting, on behalf of the Sikh community will now be challenging this at the Supreme Court?
Well, definitely there are high chances that they would now be approaching, in fact, the Delhi High Court, challenging this particular order and seeking a death penalty into this particular case. But if you remember that Sajjan Kumar is already undergoing a life imprisonment in another case pertaining to, in fact, the Delhi Sikh riots. This particular case in which today the life imprisonment has been granted is a case that pertains to the killing of a father and son duo in the Saraswati Vihar area on the 1st of, in 1984. And this is a case, where a father and son duo was actually murdered. It was alleged that this was Sajjan Kumar who had instigated that particular mob, which not only killed this duo, but also, created riots in that particular area. And hence, a mass genocide of the Sikhs was carried out post the death of the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi had happened, and that is something, which is now the final verdict of the court. No death penalty, but a life term for, in fact, Sajjan Kumar in this particular case.
All right, let me quickly go across to CNN News 18. Sanjay Suri, who's joining me live on the broadcast. Remember, Sanjay Suri is somebody who's witnessed the 1984 Sikh genocide firsthand. Sanjay, how is this now going to go down with the Sikh community? Remember, they've been saying that only the death penalty to Sajjan Kumar will bring the community closure. What What are your thoughts right now?
You know, this legally speaking, the life imprisonment really means very little. He was sentenced to life imprisonment in the conviction earlier. So this adds really nothing to it functionally and legally. It is a moral point being made to the extent that it confirms the reports of many of the victims, and it confirms what many of us saw witnessing and reporting those killings. They were not riots, these were killings, these were mass murders, that it was not just isolated instances, that it was in fact the top leadership of the Congress party at the time that had organized and engineered these killings. These were organized killings, and these were organized by Congress leadership in collusion with the police, who are supposed to protect people. This was very clear to many of us, and we reported this accordingly. Now, what we have seen with Sajjan Kumar, he was convicted in one instance. Now he's been convicted in an entirely separate instance. This would suggest that there was no single allegation necessarily against him, and that he was involved in more than one instance at more than one place. And this really is a very strong indicator that this took place on a mass scale and that it was organized.
Stay with me, Sanjay. Let me quickly bring in Sardar R.P. Singh of the Bharatiya Janata Party, who's also joining me with more insights on that news story. Mr. Singh, at a time when the prosecution has argued that this is a rarest of the rare case, one that involves a mass genocide. In fact, let me take that question with Sanjay, as we've lost that connection with Mr. R.P. Singh. Sanjay, as I said, that the prosecutions throughout argued that this is the rarest of the rare case, which involves a mass genocide of a certain community. Has the court, in fact, even done justice, and why shouldn't it be challenged at the Supreme Court?
Well, the court has really not done very much more than simply confirm the earlier life sentence. And the fact that this in a separate instance has led to a conviction, evidence has been found independent of the earlier case, does point to involvement in mass killing at more than one place. And therefore the argument can be made that it should have attracted more and invited more than another life sentence. Whether the death penalty is a good idea or not is a separate matter. But certainly, given the fact that as the constitution stands, as the law stands, the death penalty stands, there clearly was a firm argument to be made that this needed something more than life imprisonment. Clearly the court hasn't accepted that argument and has sort of imposed another life sentence, which really means nothing.